Right, guys, welcome back. This is the Above Average FPL podcast. My name's Adam, and as always, joined by Baker. How has your week been, mate?
Eventful. I've had 2 days at Peppa Pig World. Although less eventful than it should be. For some reason, the lovely county of Kent decided to go a week early on half term compared to the whole rest of the country.
Oh,
Um,
really?
so therefore, Peppa Pig World wasn't the horrendous queues of half term. The roads weren't mental. It was relatively peaceful. I
Happy
had the
days.
the weirdest experience on Tuesday of the one person probably of all people I would expect to, well, not maybe not of all people because I expect you kind of have to have a child as such. But as I was walking in there, I was like, I know that person there, and you couldn't miss him. Was Jimmy Carr was there? Um, just you wouldn't have expected to see Jimmy Carr in Peppa Pig World. Um, and he was there at 11 o'clock and he was still there. Like, like I saw him occasionally just sort of pottering around and he definitely didn't really want to talk to anybody. And then there was a weird moment where I was sitting at soft play, whiling my life away, just watching Eddie go round and round and round. And he sort of sat down next to me on this bench, also doing the same. And I was like, just didn't expect. It's almost like you're like, oh, this is just what dads have to do. This is what we have to do. But Alicia spoke to somebody that was working there. And they said, "Oh, that's Jimmy Carr over there." Yeah, yeah. There was someone at work. She said apparently he comes there like 4 times a year and has been there like for like 5, 6 years. He like relentlessly goes and because they just stuck the Halloween stuff on. It was like, oh, he'll be along. Apparently, he's never spoken to anyone. Like no one's
Oh,
ever
really?
spoken to him. But yeah, it
Wow.
was good. It was good. The only thing that dumped me was because it was Halloween out there. Like Eddie, obviously, the autistic routine of my son had certain expectations of what he was likely to see, and they didn't really like that he calls them puppets, but the guys in the costumes weren't in their traditional Peppa Pig and George outfit. They were in Halloween based ones, which he took it well at the time, but like afterwards, he's then seen it on YouTube, and every time he sees it, it's like immediately fuming. So I'm definitely going to have to go back to Peppa Pig World again, but when there's not some kind of theme.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
That's my
I've
week.
had
Can you beat that?
no, mate. I've been back at work after a week off, so it's all just been absolutely hectic as hell. Trying to get stuff done. So, yeah, a little bit less interesting. Although I've been at home all week because the kids are off for their second week of holidays now, so they go back next week. So yeah, that's about it. And just thinking about what I'm going to do this week for my FPL team. Just watching players come back, players take penalties, players give penalties away, players get injured. Normal stuff, really.
Mm,
Normal stuff.
normal stuff. Normal stuff. Lots of goals in Europe this week.
Loads.
Just
Apart from
not not
just
not
not.
in Tottenham.
It was a complete anomaly, wasn't it? It was just it was just watching everyone else have a load of fun, and then there was just to be fair, the fact that we didn't actually concede like 5 goals, I think, was actually a blessing.
Yeah. We tried to match the game for goals by letting them have as many shots as we possibly could. Um, but hey, is yeah, interesting. Interesting.
Interesting. And so we're back into game week 9. I think this week we're going to calm down a little bit, right? No chips this week. Me and you, we're going to just
N-
take it easy.
No chips. No, I haven't got many left. You still got you. What you got left?
I've got bench boost and triple captain.
And I've got free hit. That's it.
Okay.
That's
So
it.
we've still got some fun to have. There's still we could thumbnails will make themselves every single week. It'll be
Yeah,
fine.
we'll be fine.
We've got 3 out of the next 10 to make interesting.
Mm.
So yeah, shout out to let's just say hello everyone in the chat. Hope you are doing well and having a good week. Not watching Europa League and Europa Conference League. Obviously, you're sat here with us, and we really appreciate it. And just seeing that Nottingham Forest have gone 1-0 up
Gibbs
through
White
Gibbs
penalty.
White. Oh, it was a penalty. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
Mateta just missed a sitter. I mean, that's just part of the course now. Really,
he gets big chances.
he does get big chances. He does get big chances. So where do we want to start? I guess we should start by thanking the guy that helps make this all possible. I think we should start there and say thank you to our friend Crypto Block Dan for supporting the podcast as he does. And if you are crypto curious, or if you want to get into the Web3 or blockchain space, you can grab some time with Dan, grab some advice, head over to hubble.social/Dan Hybel, and you can grab from 15 minutes of his time for $40. He is well versed in this area. He is quite literally an industry expert, and he supports us. We support him. Go check him out. hubble.social/Dan Hybel. And the stuff that you could do for us. I mean, you can hit the like button, you can subscribe, and do all that good stuff. And if you want to continue the conversation, you can do so over in patreon.com/above average FPL. Blackjack finished. We had a winner. The mug went out yesterday. So that's starting up again. Good game that. You basically pick 2 to 5 players, and the points total has to go to a maximum of 21. One person is the dealer each week. And much like the actual game of Blackjack, you as the player, if you bust first, then you bust. But if you beat the dealer, you get through, basically. And the dealer has to do certain things and not bust, and they get through as well. And it just carries on until there's a winner. That's cool. We've got Last Man Standing, which is still going. So we're still waiting for that second one to go. People keep predicting who's going to win these games, which is mad. And obviously we've got Beat Baker, because everyone loves, well, not everyone, but a lot of people like whiskey, and we like giving away free stuff. So if you want free whiskey, then you can come and join us and get yourself into the mini league and try and beat Baker. So shout out to all of our patrons for that.
Yeah. Short month. Last week of the month this week.
Yeah, and you're 5th at the moment.
Am I 5th? Ooh,
yeah, it's not.
I've run out of chips, mate. I've gone as far as I can.
That's it. So normal thing today. We're going to look through the games courtesy of Rob T and SpreadX. We'll look through the goals. Got some data from Solio Analytics site itself, from the actual tool, which is pretty good. Looking over a slightly longer horizon, and then we'll go into our teams. So, what sticks out here?
The first thing I was just thinking is that we're all going to captain the guy that has the 7th in the team that has the 7th highest projected goals this week. Is it, like, we're going to have very few weeks to take him on. Is this a week? We should ask ourselves the question at least, is this a week to take on Erling Haaland?
I think that's a reasonable question, but I also would be pretty confident on his share of that being pretty high. Right? So his share is going to be that, and that's it.
It's almost a case of, if his share of 1.7 is like 1.2, because it pretty much is in that kind of world at the moment, then how high does the expected goals have to be for the opposition for us to be able to take him on? I think it's probably got to be like a 2.3, 2.4.
But who are the other options?
And that's it. I am starting to you start to ask yourself the question of who are the other options, because it's Mo, like, no.
Can't trust that.
Isak we thought might be the option, not the option.
Gyökeres, Saka. But again, it's share, right? It's Saka's got more. I mean, the difference, I guess, here is Saka's got more routes to points. I saw something weird that he hasn't actually got an assist in 2025 or something. Right?
Saka.
It must be an Opta assist.
I don't know, because actually, if you think about the last 18 months or so of Saka, when he has played, he's not been massively productive. But he's the closest we've got to thinking we might have a chance. But like you say, we saw him midweek, because they're so good at set pieces. All of the defenders can potentially score. Martinez and Trossard are return monsters.
Yeah.
When they play. You have got Gyökeres, you have got Eze, you have got Rice. Yeah. Rockstar's in the chat, next question, and it probably is. It probably is. Just next question is Haaland captain. Thanks very much. Move on.
Yeah, fair enough. Not Semenyo? Voltamada?
Yeah.
Could it just be Gabriel?
The other thing is you'd normally say, well, actually, is there the ability to target those that are playing Thursday night? So we know that Villa have played Thursday night. Well, Villa play Haaland, so but that's that done.
Yep.
So you've also got Man City with 2 extra days rest.
Yeah,
And
definitely helping.
realistically, from Villa, I know they didn't win tonight, but if you're Villa, you're definitely looking at that competition and thinking we want to have a good go on that. The team lineup probably slightly over rotated, if anything. Um, Palace,
But they're full strength tonight. I mean, and
they're
they're
full
full
strength tonight.
strength tonight. So why would Saka, Gyökeres, Gabriel not be good captain? Like Gabriel could just be the captain option. Like I think we'll see a few. I think we'll see a few of those. Like the ones that come up and the surprise us normally, you see someone go, "Oh my god!" Like what? I think there'll be a few Gabriel captaincies out there that we'll see.
A few
I,
Gabriel captaincies. Do you think you can go that
I
far?
love that. I mean, if I had him, I could do. I think
And then
it's
there
reasonable.
is that question, isn't there? Is if you if you think that you could cap him, then don't you have to do everything you possibly could in the world to get him in? Don't you just have to get him in? Like even if you've already got triple Arsenal, isn't it still worth trying to find ways to get him in? Are we reaching that point? Obviously, you need enough transfers, to do it. I don't think it's necessarily a hit. If you've got Raya, haven't you? So Raya's your blocker for Gabriel.
Yes, but
Uh,
I could do like Raya Pope. Well, no, I've got Timber at like point two behind him. So I just need to find point two, and I could just make the move.
Timber's also good, isn't he?
Timber's also good, but he's not Gabriel, right? This is the thing. So is it
Yeah,
worth something like that? Is it worth something like that to get him in? I mean, he's on the thumbnail. Like we know how important he is right now.
I still love Timber as a pick. I'm still looking for ways in which I can have Timber too. I think
I
the
just
I think the big problem. So I think one of the things that's very noticeable for those game week 8 wildcards, a lot of the game week 8 wildcards didn't have Bruno Fernandes and they didn't have Gyökeres. I can't remember seeing any that had Timber, Gabriel, and Bruno, or and Gyökeres. And I think that's the thing is for me and you who have got, I've got a £9 million player in Gyökeres, and you've got one in Bruno. I don't know if you want to spend 12 million on two defenders too. I think you really got to start taking a lot out of stuff. We saw Paqueta this week. You know what I mean? They were like those that have got it. They're like, yeah, I've got Paqueta. I've got Caicedo. You know what I mean? They've got a lot of these sub 6 million guys, and I'm just like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure having Timber and Gabriel and that £9 million players is a good way. I think you uh, maybe if you use bench boost, it is. Although we have to ask ourselves the question: if you had, if you were looking at this 4.5 striker, would you go Guiu or would you go Kroupi?
I would probably I think I'd prefer Kroupi because I feel like as soon as someone's fit in that Chelsea side, I think just Guiu's just back out pasture. But I think there's an opportunity for Kroupi to have more minutes. Essentially, I think the minutes are better. That said, I would only really be looking. Even now, for me, I would only really be looking in terms of bench boost for me personally. And that's the thing. I guess if I haven't got bench boost, I'd probably just go to Guiu because I'm not going to triple up on Chelsea. And so I don't think there's any risk of, blocking myself out of a spot. And the
Yep.
point two is going to go far. It's going to make a difference. So I
Yeah.
think I think probably without bench boost, I'd have Guiu, but if you've still got bench boost, I'd have Kroupi and and go there.
Can
Still
we
don't know
have a
what the
look at?
timeline on Dilap is.
You've got you got the projected goals, Zolio ones.
I do have them. 1 second. I will get that on
Let's have a
screen
look.
now.
Because I'm gonna need the glasses. I'm gonna need the glasses here. So well, I think what we can immediately see is if you went Kroupi, you only want to play him in 9 and 12. So you need to have the ability to bench him or to bench him in 10, 11. One of the things about Reijnders, for example, because we need to talk about Reijnders, because we both have him, is him and Kroupi actually potentially rotate really well. Like if we just think that Kroupi's got the position, but they might give you a bit more time on Reijnders because come game week 13 onwards, we might want Reijnders back again. He might give you that little bit of oh, okay, he fits quite well with him. But
We
then you ask
also,
yourself the same question. Well, Guiu does the same.
yeah, similarly, but we've seen Guiu hasn't started a Premier League game, right?
Nah. The thing with Chelsea, as much as it looks like what they should do is play him all the time,
Yeah, yeah.
you just don't know to trust Maresca. And
I mean,
even that's
it's quite clear to everyone that João Pedro is not operating in his best space at the moment when he's trying to play him at number 9. That's quite clear. The guy's had no shots. I put a tweet out that said like he's had as many shots since game week 2 as Mateta had in 90 minutes last week. Like he's just not shooting enough, and that's because of where he's playing.
the only thing though that I do question is who's more important. If we take the pecking order, Enzo, João Pedro, and Guiu, and said pecking order them 1, 2, 3, then I think most people would say Enzo 1, João Pedro 2, Guiu 3. Yeah.
Yeah,
If you play Guiu up as number 9 and then you play Pedro at number 10, then you're pushing Enzo back a little bit. So it makes him worse. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe Maresca still says I'll play João Pedro at 9 because yes, it's not so good. But if I've got Enzo in the 10, I don't care so much. I just don't care
yeah,
so much. And we didn't get the chance in midweek, and we didn't get the chance last weekend to see that because Enzo couldn't play last weekend, and
yeah,
then João Pedro couldn't play midweek. And
yeah.
so we're still in that position where I still think João Pedro and Enzo are more important than Guiu. So do I think there's still times where he goes, I'll play that there and I'll put him in behind him and I don't play Guiu? Probably. But as Kroupi, I just think that might just be a long term play. You might get him in, especially if you're already wild carded, like me who's already wild carded, or anybody else who's already wild carded. If you get Kroupi in, you might have him to game week 30.
How has he not gone up in price, by the way? Can we? I mean, because he just hasn't. Like the man scored 2 goals at the weekend. That's normally like a trigger, no?
But we all move our mids all the time. We do loads and loads of transfers and that. We just don't do the same with strikers. But there's something about us that says there's something about us that goes. It's that almost a if I do it, then where do I spend the money? What do I do? What do I do? And it almost freezes us. So we're just I think it's always easier to shift guys. Like you can see a lot of people with Bowen that are just going to go, I'm going to shift him to Mateta. I'm going to do that because he's just scored and that guy's not scored. It feels easier, feels nicer. Or Voltamada, you know what I mean? You've got all these guys that move around. But when you've got these ones where you're like, okay, I've got to make a decision to dead end that spot, I think it becomes, even for the most casual players, yeah, I also think it's just like we're like fireflies, especially the casual guys are more, are more fireflies. They're like that guy scored a goal, so I need to have him in. And there's always going to be enough strikers that score goals that you're like, well, I'll get that guy. Whereas when the £4.5 million guy scores, you're like, Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's just filling in. Won't happen again. I think it just needs to wait a
Yeah,
little bit
true.
longer before it happens. And they go from no ownership to loads ownership as well, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe I would just
yeah.
go Kroupi then. Maybe I would
I
just go
think I
Kroupi
probably would.
regardless.
I think I probably would.
Yeah.
I think the one where it starts getting a bit is if you're thinking that I'm gonna say wildcard this week, and I want to because game week 11 is quite a popular bench boost game week, and I think anyone that's bench boosting in game week 11 is going to go you.
Yeah. 11's such a good bench boost game week because we're in this weird spot where we've got two City, or most people have like two City, but we only really like having Haaland right now. And then we don't
Yep.
know who the hell to have from Liverpool. So we're in this spot where we're not tripled up on either side, and they're going to play each other. So, oh, look, we've got a lot of other teams playing rubbish teams. And
Yeah.
we're already tripled up on Arsenal, so there's 3 against Sunderland. Oh, we've got a couple of Chelsea. They're playing Wolves, perfect. It just feels like a really nice spot.
Mm.
But it is weird having no Liverpool though at the moment.
It's weird. It's weird. And bloody hell, like we talked about Gakpo a lot last weekend, but I don't know if you saw in the midweek game, but he was taking corners from the left side as well.
Well, yeah, because he gets the assist for Van Dijk header.
Van Dijk. Yeah, yeah. Szoboszlai. Interesting that Verts is on the pitch and Szoboszlai was taken from one side and Gakpo was taken from the other. Um, Other than this, a couple of decisions I think is one is Reijnders. We both got him.
I mean, I've got transfers in hand, but at the moment, I kind of have to play him. Do I feel
Mm.
uncomfortable? I don't feel uncomfortable about that, but I also just wouldn't be surprised if I'm sat here on Sunday going, "Well, I got 2 points from Reijnders." you know,
I'll ask you the question for selfish gains for myself. If you didn't have Enzo, would you be more twitchy on Reijnders? Got to find 1.1 million.
it's a lot. It's a
It's
lot of
not.
money.
Yeah, yeah, you've got to make a sacrifice to get him in, to get Enzo in from Reijnders. He's like the obvious. When I'm looking at it, I'm like, he's the one. If I could just go there. I mean, Caicedo scored again. Um, so you can
Lucky
just go straight
deflection,
to
wasn't it?
Caicedo.
Was it a big
Yeah, yeah.
deflection? Yeah.
Yeah, but like every single one of his goals is effectively some form of jam. Like he's scoring zero point 0.2 screamers and deflected goals and doing stuff, but somehow
It's just
just
going in.
happening. And at
I think
least
I
you
would
get
try
four
to get.
points.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's also true. I probably would try and get there. I probably would try and get there if you could. But where are your sacrifices coming from? Your sacrifices are probably coming from
This is what I'm saying. It's Gyökeres, really.
Jokeres. Yeah,
If you're honest, it has to be Gyökeres. Like I'm saying, for you with Bruno or Gyökeres, realistically, they're the best plays to free up money because they are unicorns in that they are on their own almost in that price bracket, and then there's a feast of guys which are considerably less than them. It's not like a I'm not going to go Gyökeres to Watkins. That's never happening. I'm not
sure.
going to go. I'm not going to go Gyökeres up to Isak. That's definitely not happening. So
Sure.
I either the closest I go on a straight switch is Ekitike,
I
which
mean, look,
if
after if with Slot's comments, I mean, it is we don't know whether he's injured or not, but it's obviously clear that he can't play. Isak can't play all the minutes, and look, they started in a 2 in midweek, and it worked. Like it just kind of worked, right? It
yeah,
was. Did you notice when Ekitike went through to score that Isak was trying to keep up with him? Did you notice how slow Isak is in comparison? Absolutely crazy.
part of the whole Salah thing is obviously that actually both Gakpo and Ekitike are selfish as fuck. Like they are proper selfish, direct guys. I am questioning myself. I've been quite down, I think, on Ekitike, like almost dismissive of him as an asset, and almost, I'll be honest, I'm almost like if somebody else has got him, I'm like, what are you doing? But he scored points. So like that, I've got bloody Gyökeres who's and scored since game week 2. Like I can't. I'm not really in a good position to say that, but I do feel that way, and I'm like, I'm come round on Gakpo. Maybe I should come round on Ekitike a bit more. Of similar to what I've said about Bruno. There's parts of it where you're like, I don't necessarily know that they're in the position or that they're really adding to the team that they're in at the moment. But ultimately, we're trying to solve FPL. And I think Ekitike will do the points. I think Gakpo will do the points. I think Bruno will do the points.
Yeah.
Um,
There's some weird ones around this week. It's just difficult to try and work out where else you would want to move that money. I'm looking around these teams. The obvious one, if you weren't blocked out, would be Voltemada, obviously. But you're obviously blocked because you've got.
do you know what? I hadn't even considered the fact that I'm blocked out of
Yeah,
that.
you're blocked out of that move. So I was just thinking about it, and Voltemada would be like perfect. But obviously, Burn, Gordon, and unless you go a week early well, you've already got Sarr, haven't you?
There's a world where you do that other way, which is that you just ignore Enzo and go, or just do the like say Gordon and Gyökeres we talked about on Sunday. If you switch that to João Pedro and Bruno right now, which one do you think gets more points? It's probably going to be Bruno and João Pedro. Do I want to use 2 transfers on it? Not right now.
Yeah,
I'm
still not buying the João Pedro thing until Delap's in or until he starts Guiu or something happens.
No.
Yeah, that's the thing for me, is I just wouldn't want to go there.
Same as me on that one. I think I saw Let's Talk Andy tweeted earlier that he's averaged an open play goal every 420 minutes in his career.
Yeah. It's terrible in his Premier League career. Yeah. No, it's horrific. It's so bad.
Yeah, no. But am I still going to be worried about him this weekend? Yeah, I am. Yeah. You're not.
I'm not. I really am not. I'm not really fussed. I mean, the only concern, I guess, is Alderete's out. That doesn't help. Centre backs out of the team is not a good thing. But
I think you'd be more. I think you'd be. I'm more worried about the fact that I own no Chelsea actually this week. 43% clean sheet chance and 2% expected goals. I have no part of that this weekend. I'm like, oh, that's not going to be nice. Saturday evening that game, isn't it?
I think. Is United not Saturday? I think.
Yeah, no, Saturday. Yeah, Saturday.
No, Brentford's evening.
Brentford's evening. Because it's weird, isn't it? So we got Friday. Yeah. We got Friday. We got Leeds, West Ham. Then we got Chelsea and Newcastle was the 3 o'clock. So then we got 5:30. Man United, Bayern.
We've got a million Sundays to look at. A million Sunday fixtures to look at, which we absolutely love, don't we?
Oh, hell on earth. Other things, just general topics from this week. Anderson. We know it's a muscle injury. We know that he's out this week. How is it, by the way, non-FPL, and Judge Anderson's been in this league for 7 years, maybe?
Yeah, something loads. Yeah, ages.
Why has he only started being calling Joa in the last like a month?
Who? What?
Joa. They all call him Joa now.
Who does?
Joa. Anyone?
Genuinely, that's the first time I've ever heard it.
Marco Silva calls him Joa. It's when referred to rather than Anderson, because people are not sure they're going to put the E. It's an E, not an O at the end. But never seen it up until about 3 weeks ago. Now I see it everywhere because it's like Defcon's brought in his shorter name. You see it on the timeline. Yeah, if Joa's out.
I've genuinely never seen it. I mean, Tom's saying because of the other Anderson. What, the other guy that plays for Nottingham Forest?
Joa. Just check it. That's what I'm saying. Like, it must have always been called it. Is Cheeto says on the things about the fact of he was called it a palace. It's short for Joa, but Rockstar said best Joa replacement. No one's ever called him Joa before the last few weeks, and now everyone's Joa, isn't it?
Genuinely, I'd never heard that until about 3 minutes ago.
I used to call him Big Joe. I quite liked calling him Big Joe. No, just Big Joe. I liked it, but now Joa.
Do we have to call him? Do we have to call him Joa then now?
Yeah, if we want to be called down with the kids, we call him Joa now.
True. I missed an opportunity on Sunday. I was fuming.
Mm.
I missed an opportunity to for memeable content. But there we go.
Where would you go? Where would you go in the money?
Well, if I had to sell Joa,
yeah.
I haven't even looked. Probably Michael Keane.
It feels like the
almost certainly
move,
Michael Keane.
And it's because you need to do it this week. It's harder to go Richards, isn't it? Because like you can't play him. Fast Air's just called him the Joa Constrictor. Next time he has a man of the match and they clean, I'm fucking calling him that shit. Joa Constrictor.
Amazing.
Oh, damn it. Yeah, Michael Keane.
He's got set piece threat. Everton have got, I mean, not the best chance of a clean this week, albeit I don't think we've actually reached 1.23 XG in the last like 6 games. So
yeah.
It feels fine to go there. And their fixtures are decent for the next few weeks as well. So, yeah, I've got no issues with that. Spurs, Sunderland, Fulham. I mean, United and Newcastle after that, but again, set piece threat, and he can be parked away on your bench somewhere if you need to, because
I've been talking with Pranell quite a lot about it, late riser, because he's on bench boost and like he's been eyeing up. He's got KDH, so there's a part of him that thinks, oh, well, if I have KDH and Keane, you can get the magic goal, can't you? Against Tottenham. I get it. There is that. I think he's also looking at Chow at Newcastle because I think he's 4.9.
I haven't looked at any numbers for Chow whatsoever, but I always feel slightly reserved about going into a defender at 5 million that I'd seen play like once. Like I just haven't seen. I just don't know what he does. Like, what does he do? Is he a big towering set piece magnet?
He's quite the all action hero. I feel like he's a bit Mickey van der Ven type rampager guys. He does get in the box. He does seem to get on the end of a lot of set pieces. You've obviously got Share right there. So I do think that the only thing when I watched that Brighton game last week was that Botman and Chow were so far away from each other all the time. They just didn't look like a pair. They just didn't look like they were complementing. Now, I'd put that more on Botman. I thought Botman was really bad. So, yeah, I think he probably is nailed. And obviously, the other good part about going a Newcastle defender is you're up against Fulham, who don't have Big Joa.
Don't have Big Joa. This is true.
So what's going to be Bassi and Diop at centre back?
Sounds horrific.
Oh, Matthew Dott's gone for Rocky Balboa. Fuck's sake.
Oh, we could do this all day. This is
the content people are here for. I knew it. I knew once I brought it up, people would know. People would know this was something we've all been thinking it. We shouldn't pretend we haven't. Apart from Adam's not seen it. Now he's seen it. Oh God, the chat's getting worse. Oh, they're going.
What have you done?
Joke. Oh, all joking aside. Oh, it's getting worse.
What have you done?
Move on. What have we done? When you see it on the weekend, just note.
I'll listen out for the presser. Have they already done the presser? Has he already done his presser?
Yeah, Marco's done it. Yeah, he talked about Joe. Joe's got muscle injury, he said.
Yeah, okay. The only other thing we really have, I mean, we spoke about which one do we go to? We went to goals. We've got this, but I think we've spoken about most of this already in terms of this is the projected goal scorers, again from SpreadX and Solio. And so Haaland's obviously topping that, 0.78. He's 54% chance of more than one or more goal. But you just look at this goal share compared to absolutely everybody else, and it is just monstrous. The 43% share of the XG for City is going to Haaland, with only like 26% of it going to João Pedro for Chelsea and 25% for Gyökeres. I mean, Gyökeres is interesting. Adam Cleary did a really, really, really good video on Gyökeres and Arsenal and how he doesn't think it's a big deal. And you know what? Sometimes you just need one to come off your cock and go in the back of the net, and
The first
everything's
goal
all right.
was
Right?
like the first goal that he scored in midweek were like, that's a jam. That's a jam.
Well, that was
Do you know what I mean?
that's what we. There was like 7 of those goals in his highlight reel from last year, wasn't it? It was one of
Yeah,
those like scrambling. He just hits it harder, and so it manages to come off someone and goes in. But sometimes you just need that.
yeah, 100%.
So
100%.
yeah, and then you've got Salah and Ekitike at 0.46 each. And if you think, I think Ekitike's chances of scoring a goal this week, personally,
Yeah,
in my opinion, much higher than Salah. I'd expect, because he's playing centrally and he's greedy as hell, as you say.
What about the guy just after Ekitike?
Can't read it.
Can't read it.
No.
It's a long name. It's Doa. Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Calvert-Lewin. I mean, yeah, whatever.
I've got to play him, and
You've got to play him. You've got to play him. It's fine. You've got to play him. I absolutely get it, especially after what Brentford did to West Ham on Monday. But yeah, I mean
I'm going to play him over Ismail Assar, I love watching Ismail Assar.
you do what you need to do. You do what you need to do. Like,
I think if I have to play him, and then if it all goes wrong, then he's definitely it could be gone by Saturday morning.
of course, yeah, because they play tomorrow. Just yeet him out on the Friday night. I've been there, mate. I've done that. I've done that with Bumo. It's fine. I've done that already.
Friday night yeet. You literally did it a week ago with fucking Bumo.
Exactly.
He played.
Exactly.
He wasn't even playing on a Friday night, and you
No.
him.
Done. I was so determined to get Semenyo in, who is not on this list. And Kluivert's ahead of him, which is, oh my word.
Surprising me, isn't it? Surprising. As you pointed out, I think before we potted, didn't you? So that Beto and Dye are both on this, and no Spurs players. Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
rightly so.
Perfect. Oh my god, we are bad. Should we just get onto teams now?
Pretty dank. Yeah, let's just do it.
Should we just get onto teams now? Let's see where we are, see what we're thinking, see what we're going to do. I'm actually 0.1 out of going from Timber to Gabriel, so let's forget that move. But so, as always, I tend to put my players on the bench that I need to get rid of or want to get rid of. So Dubravka in goal right now. Dubravka over Raya. Do you kind of fancy Palace to score a goal? So
hold on. You're playing Dubravka over Raya. You are doing that, yeah?
I might do, yeah. I'm tempted. It'll be a 50-50. What
Rob T says it's not 50-50. Rob T says it's 44% chance of a clean for Arsenal and 25% chance for Burnley.
Wolves haven't. Yeah, but hold on. So let me just flip back to here. Oh yeah, Wolves aren't on here. Let's forget that. Okay, Wolves don't score goals,
and they probably will take a lot of shots. Yeah, the
Gomez's shoot a lot. Rodrigo, João, they all do it.
I can't remember when I had this. I don't know if it was this season or whether it was the end of last season, but there was a game week. It was Areola. It was Areola last season, but there was a week where I think I had Areola and Raya at one point, and I looked at it and was like, based on the fact that I think Arsenal are going to win comfortably, I don't think there's a chance that Raya gets in the bonus. So I could rule that out. So I then was like, well, probably the best case situation there is that this is 7 points. Maybe it's a clean and he gets 1 save point. He's not going to get 6 saves in this game. He might get 3. So the worst case situation is 7. So the best case situation is 7. Worst case is probably 2. It's probably 2. So it's a 2 or 7. Yeah, more than likely it's a 2 or 6. With Dub at Wolves. They've got a 1.38 projected goals. I think you're looking at a 3-point floor, probably, on that one. And probably a 10-point, 11-point ceiling. Could be,
Potentially.
couldn't it?
It could be.
Could be.
I mean, he showed us last week, did he not? Like he showed us literally last week. He can rack up points.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And therefore, and I think Fleming might be injured as well. Looks like he's a bit dodgy. So therefore, one of the guys that's a bit of a bonus hog might not be playing.
But isn't also Lyle Foster back?
Oh, sorry. I think it might be Foster that's out. Maybe it's one of the two.
Why are we talking about Burnley?
Because you got Dubravka.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
You need Dubravka. So
yes,
how does he get the bonus?
Sorry.
Well, you don't want the strikers to play, or you at least want to play limited minutes. That's fine. That's good.
I was just looking at it going, he's playing Wolves. Who cares about who? Why are we talking about
Because
Burnley strikers?
you want less competition, less competition for these guys. So if you put it to an extent of, I'm willing to risk 4 points on a loss, because that's probably what you are. You might only get 3 points versus 6 or 7 for Raya, for the potential that I might gain 8 or 9 points in the Palace score, and I end up with my Dubravka haul. I kind of get it. What happened to me last when that did that is Raya did get the clean wipe. Areola was on for 10 points with about 2 or 3 minutes to go and then conceded. So
and he scored an own goal, didn't he, or something?
I don't know if he scored an own goal, but I didn't get it. At one point, I was going to get it, and I didn't. But I was like, I in my brain, I was like, it's a smaller gap because I'm not backing clean v clean. I'm backing potentially clean and saves, or like appearance and saves versus clean and all the rest of it. It's just not going to kill your week, but it might make you weak.
Yeah, I also think there's an opportunity. Like if I think about, and Glasner will obviously know all this, obviously, because I'm just a guy who sits in an office, whatever. But the fact that Arsenal play with 2 very aggressive fullbacks, and Palace play on this incredibly fast transitional style with their Munoz and Mitchell flying down. Like, I feel that there's going to be times and space where Munoz and Mitchell are going to find themselves 40 yards ahead of their counterpart.
Yeah.
And, they're going to be backed up by Wharton and Mateta and Pino and all these guys. They're going to have chances, is what I'm saying. And so I don't know whether Raya's floor is as low as 2. I mean, I think Raya's floor could be 3. Because I think he will have to, if he cleans, he'll have to make saves.
They could also score 2 goals and he gets 1.
That's also it. Yes. That's also it. That's also it. But so Dubravka goal at the moment. Senesi, Timber, and Goodmanson at the back. Reijnders, Bruno, Fernandes, obviously. Saka, Enzo, and Semenyo in midfield. I've got Thiago and Haaland up top. Captaincy armband on Haaland. And on the bench, Raya. Romero will almost certainly go 3 weeks out. Not interested in him anymore. Richarlison doesn't play Premier League games apparently, or doesn't play enough minutes, doesn't start them. He's got to go, and Alderete is injured this week, so bench boost is just gone. Because even if I made transfers, like I could make 2 transfers and it would look nice, but that was actually on the table until the Alderete injury, right? Yeah. But now it can't be. Like now it legitimately can't be, which is a bit of a shame. So it's, who do I take Romero out to? And legitimately, like Romero to Keane and Richarlison to Kroupi. The only problem with those 2 moves is I have like 3 million to play with, and I'm like, what do I do with my money? And it's a case of, do I go Thiago to Voltemada potentially for a hit? But then who am I benching, right? And then I'm like trying to work out who I bench. And I probably bench Reijnders, and I probably bench someone else as well. I probably even bench Kroupi, to be honest. Weirdly. Get in Gabriel, don't get Keane. Cool. Who do I sell for that? Raya,
Yeah.
Saka, Timber, all in there.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So it's an
It's not
extra
like you can
transfer.
just-
So I have looked at that. I haven't even. I have legitimately looked at like Timber to Gabriel and Thiago to Gyökeres, and then as different options, not at the same time, because obviously I still have 4 Arsenal at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where I am at the moment, and I'm relatively happy. Like, I don't even need to make a transfer, actually. Like, I don't actually have to make a transfer.
On with Charlison. So obviously he started midweek. He didn't start last weekend. He came off for Colin last night. I thought Colin was really good. I thought he looked a visible step up from both Richarlison and Tell. That definitely. So I don't think that plays good for either of those guys. Really, is that you'd expect Colin possibly to come in and take the place. The only thing is, so we've played Everton 4 times since he's come from Everton to Tottenham. So he scored in the first season. He scored there. He scored at home, sorry, and he braced away. Then last season, he only played 20 minutes. We won 4-0, and he only played the last 20 minutes. So he didn't score in that one. But at their place, he scored. So in the 3 starts he's played versus Everton since he's left Everton, he scored in all of them. I mean, he never celebrates because he still absolutely loves Everton. I suspect he's thinking. I would not be surprised at all. I've already seen links that potentially he goes back there in January. It's his first time in the Hill Dickinson. He hasn't played in this stadium before. But I do wonder. This week whether we don't see him celebrate again.
But if he does, then like it's fine, right? It doesn't matter. Like, it literally doesn't matter, because all that means is that Tottenham score, which is good, and nobody owns him. So no, it doesn't matter. So it's not a risk to move him out, and he's not a player that I want for weeks and weeks and weeks, regardless. So I think he still needs to be a move out. There are some questions in there about Reece James. Like, Reece James is really interesting. Obviously doesn't play or doesn't start. No, he didn't play at all yesterday. Didn't need to. But so that's real interesting. The fact that he breaks too often is not an issue, because if he breaks, then I transfer him out, and he's 5.4 million, right? So you can still go to pretty much all the good defenders at that point.
Yeah.
The only thing is that I have no Palace. And so, like, using all my transfers at this point in game week 10, I'm going to want Palace next week. So where do I go from there? Freeing up the money is good, because it means, like, next week, like, Reijnders to Sarr is just done. Like, it's just done. I just do that tomorrow, 6:31. Done.
I think with free transfers, you can go in so many different ways. You can go in so many different ways with this team, and I think this team still looks great this week. That's my only thing with it. If it's 0.1, I'm always like, if you keep scrambly-ish moves, then you're like, am I going to scramble again next week? And
well, I guess the question is, the question really is, if I make a transfer, can I make a transfer that gets me more points this week that I will want for the future? So if I just make the one transfer, right, and I just transfer Romero to Keane, and then I play Keane over Thiago, is that a better move to do? Probably. If I take Richarlison down to Kroupi and play him over Thiago, is that a better move? Well, he's definitely going to start, isn't he? Because he scored 2 goals last week and Evan Nilsson's still injured. So is that a better move? Probably. Is making 2 transfers at this point, where I have to bench Thiago and then I bench Reijnders, who's probably going to be crap, but it's okay, because he still could, like, he still had chances in the last few weeks to score points. it might be better for me to make one transfer out of these two and free up some money, and then work out what to do next week as I move closer towards a bench boost. And I think that's probably the better thing for me.
You did take a guy out that was good leading the attack to an extent against Liverpool last week, and he scored. Like Thiago could have scored 5 against West Ham, and he's playing this shit defense in Liverpool again at home. Like Brentford, if I take you to the words you've used so many times with me, Brentford at home equals big chances. You just wouldn't take a Brentford attacker out. I wouldn't matter who they were playing.
Yeah, okay. Maybe it's
Cow
just
in the chat just said, from a Liverpool fan, I would play Thiago, and I'm like, I would not be benching Thiago this week. Not for Michael Keane.
It sounds so fucking stupid, doesn't it?
Not for Michael Keane. Get a week that I'd rather just that for me says you can wait a week on that one.
Yeah, fair enough.
Goodmanson, Timber, Senesi will play. So the only possible is that you have a attacker that doesn't play, because Romero and Alderete won't. I think Richarlison will play at least 30 odd minutes, if not more. I wouldn't be surprised if he just plays 60 minutes.
There's more a case of just make sure Richarlison's first on my bench, or actually it doesn't really matter because he's the only one that's fit.
I think you said to me, I don't know if you said it to me at the start of this, or whether you said it before you came up, but when you showed me Rob T's graphic, you were like, it's not that great, is it, this week? And therefore I'm like, this is why I just feel like it's let's just
I've
leave it
I've definitely got scars on rolling though.
I know.
8.4 million game week rank, 11.4 million game week rank when I do nothing. I'm like, should just do something.
I know, it's tough.
But then if I'm not going to do anything, maybe I do just like save myself some more pain and just put Raya in there over Dubravka and just lock the clean and go from there.
Yeah,
maybe that's the way. We'll chat about it on Discord tomorrow before the deadline, I'm sure. So let's move to you, mate.
Similar world in terms of both got 2 transfers, and both got a little bit in the bank, like a 0.4 in the bank. It's not enough to do anything particularly exciting this week. I've got Pope. I will plan Pope over Dubravka this week. I've got Burn, Senesi, Gabriel. I'll be playing all 3 of those this week. Semenyo, Gordon, Saka, Reijnders in midfield. And then DCL, Haaland, and Gyökeres up top. Got the 2 strikers that don't score goals but get some chances, and then the one that just scores all the goals. And then my bench at the moment is Sarr first bench, Rodon's second bench, Richard's third bench. I guess if I'm looking at, do I try and get Sarr on the pitch, it's Reijnders or Calvert-Lewin. I think I'm just going to take the Calvert-Lewin pain, because I just want. I don't think, if the game wasn't maybe Friday night, I'd be more tempted. But the fact that the game is Friday night, I could have a little bit in it. It almost tempts me a little bit with Rodon.
I'll be playing Rodon over Calvert-Lewin every day, every single day of the week. I'll be playing Rodon over Calvert-Lewin, 100%. 100%.
By the way, Larnaca have just scored against Palace, so that's not going to help the substitutions either.
No, that's not.
No, I would play Calvert-Lewin over Rodon all day long, because I just I don't trust West Ham. Don't do enough attack that Rodon's going to get bloody what do you call it?
Defcon.
Like I say, I expect them to have 65% possession against West Ham. I just don't see it. I am partially questioning, should I be playing Rodon over Reijnders? Or any algo review, Solio, and all that stuff. I'm pretty sure they do. I haven't looked myself, but I caught a little bit of the Solio pod and saw that Praz was. I think Praz is playing Rodon over Sarr this week. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I'm sure. And quote me, I'm sure press said it was like a whole one expected point more for Roden over Saar, and I'm like, maybe I should switch Roden to first bench. But yeah, Roden versus DCL, Roden, DCL, and Reijnders. There's something is quite. I might as we get there, I might be get a little bit tempted to say I can play them both.
Yeah, it is a whole point. It's a whole point more.
Is it?
Mad. Yeah.
Well, Roden over Reijnders. Or Roden over Saar.
Roden over Saar, 4.2 versus 3. Reijnders. Yeah, Roden over Reijnders as well. 0.6 of a point, 0.5.
Is it?
Yeah.
Big Joe.
Yeah. Big Joe. Big Joe, not Big Joe.
Big Joe over Big Joe.
Okay. Cool.
Jan Bednarek, by the way, has just scored against Forest for FC Porto. Did anyone know that Jan Bednarek was at FC Porto?
Incredible.
No.
No,
maybe. Yeah. Let me know in chat. Let me know in the comments of this. Is would you play Rodon, and if so, would you play him over DCL or would you play him over Reijnders? Let's see how we do.
Yeah, put them in order in the comments. Put them in order. Reijnders, Calvert-Lewin, Rodon. You got to play 2. So
and Saar. Add Saar.
And Saar. So yeah,
Reijnders, Calvert-Lewin, Saar, and Rodon. I've got to play 2 of them.
List those 4. Cool.
Other than that, I've got to roll in now. Got to roll it, get the free transfers, and then work out what I'm doing.
Yeah, I think so.
Gyökeres
I think so.
Gyökeres has got you so handcuffed, though. He's got you so handcuffed because you're like, you're playing him this week because Palace are going to be knackered, and then it's Burnley and Sunderland the 2 weeks after.
Maybe this week the goals that he scored is just going to release him.
It's just got you so handcuffed. You're like, I'm not sure which way I'll do this.
But he's still good. He's still getting chances. Like he's immeasurably better than João Pedro in that respect.
Let's talk Andy's in the chat. He says play DCL and Rodon over Reijnders and Saar.
I don't trust anyone who puts DCL at the top of that list.
He's put DCL first, Andy.
I can see that. I can see that. I don't trust him. I don't trust him. Pete, I don't trust you. Anybody that puts
the thing I never quite trust is Rockstar saying it because we're in a few little rival leagues and he's just trying to desperately
he's trying to derail you.
Yeah.
Probably.
Desperately might be a bit harsh. But
well, you know I would do it.
Yeah, definitely. Go on, play DCL.
This is what I'm trying to see. This is me being a changed man. I'm trying to save you from yourself.
No, you hate
Don't
DCL.
play DCL.
This is very different. You just hate DCL.
Fine, you play him, and we'll talk on Sunday.
I'll play him. If he scores, Alex has to have him on the thumbnail.
Okay, deal. Fine. What's my win here? I don't win. Like, what is the win? Like, the win almost has to be like if he doesn't score, you have to use a transfer on him. But that's really harsh against you.
If DCL returns, DCL's on the thumbnail for Sunday. If DCL doesn't, it's a picture of my sad face on the thumbnail.
I mean, we can do that.
Yeah,
we can do that. Right, best go then. Deadline tomorrow, 6:30.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this. Right, I'll catch you later, mate. Thanks in the chat. Thank you very much. Make sure you hit like on the way out, and we'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.